What is up, my dashing dudes? I am the Hans TV, and I hope that today y'all are ready for some infuriatingly entitled people. It's time for r/EntitledParents. Our first post for the day comes from Has5050681. I don't care if your sister has a broken hand and cancer. She should still play video games with my son. This all happened yesterday, and I'm just trying to get over it myself. Some backstory. My younger sister was diagnosed with cancer early 2017. As of now, she's still having treatment, and we are uncertain about when her treatment will end. Yesterday, she tried to walk to the bathroom from her bed. She slipped and landed awkwardly on her hand. Luckily, when she got it checked at the hospital, it was just a buccal fracture. It's not very serious, but it requires a splint. She didn't need a cast, and it was in her left hand, so I was happy with the outcome as it could have easily been worse. Anyway, later on that day, she was feeling a little upset and my mom went out to get all of us McDonald's. I was just spending time with LS, little sister, and helping her out with what she needed whilst mom picked up the food. Enter EU, entitled uncle, and EK, entitled kid, around 8 years old. They visit fairly often and we were used to them arriving. Because of how annoying they are to little sister, I always keep my PS4, with games like FIFA and Fortnite installed, downstairs so any kids who visit stay away from my younger sister, and they don't bug anyone else. EK, hi everyone! Me, surprised to see them. Oh hi, EK, how are you? EK, okay, can I play on the Switch? The Switch is for little sister. It always stays in her room and she takes it to hospital when she has to stay. Me, that isn't going to be possible. LS, little sister, hurt her hand and she can't be near people. Have you seen her splint? EK, obviously I saw the splint. Me, then you know that she can't. And you also know that I have the PS4 with the games you like downstairs. I'll be down soon and I'll play with you. I should add that I have bought PS4 games I never use for the purposes of keeping visitors away from my little sister. Her immune system can't handle people visiting, but EU's family fail to understand. I prefer keeping them downstairs because it's less pressure for a little sister and puts me at ease knowing she's okay. EK, no, I want to play on the Switch with little sister. I then suggest for EK to take the Switch handheld and take it downstairs. EK then throws a tantrum. Enter EU upstairs to little sister's room. EU, what did you do to upset him? Me, told him that he can't play on the Switch with little sister. I then told him to go on the PS4, then I said take the Switch handheld downstairs. EU, are you really telling me that a splint on her left arm stops her from playing games? Me, slightly shocked. Yes, it does. Plus, she's tired from being in hospital all day getting her arm sorted. Let her rest. EU, I don't care if she's tired or has a broken arm. That shouldn't stop her from playing games with EK. I'm just shocked at this point. Then my mum arrives back home with the McDonald's. To shut up EK, I give him my McFlurry and told him to stay downstairs and go on the PS4. EK then did just that. I told him to load Fortnite on the PS4 and play it. His eyes lit up and there were no other arguments. We are still trying to recover from the scenario because little sister was left upset by what EK and EU said. It's disgusting that their motivation to come to our house was to play on the Switch and eat our food. I didn't mind giving them McFlurry. All I cared about was little sister being happy, especially after hurting her hand and all the other crap she's been through the past 2 years. Edit. Thanks to the user who gave the silver award. Edit 2. Wow, I wasn't expecting this much of a response. Many thanks to everyone. I have tried to look through everyone's comments. With little sister, her cancer is extremely rare and it is specific to her. I don't mind talking about her because I'm used to it by now. I prefer talking about it because for a while, I did keep it to myself and I developed many issues with my mental health. I'm still dealing with these, but I am happy that there are many people on this subreddit who are caring and empathetic. If anyone is going through things regarding friends or family, if you want to send me a chat, if you have any more questions, I wouldn't mind answering any. I can't say I'm an expert at all, but if you are stuck, I'd be happy to help as much as I can. And many thanks to everyone who gave me awards. I can't really understand why, but thank you. Also, I did write cast instead of splint, which I did change in this edit. Our next post comes from Wendy Soto 1, entitled Grandmother Doesn't Like Me Speaking Bilingual to My Daughter. Today, I was babysitting my neighbor's daughter, 2 years old. It isn't the first time I babysat for her. I love this little girl. She's the cutest thing in the world. Anyway, I told my neighbor that I had a few errands to run and she was fine with her daughter being with me. I went to the mall to return a few things and I went into Macy's to try on some clothes while Layla was sitting in the chair, looking at what I was doing. I asked her, "Do you like these shoes?" Layla just said, "Wow, cute." Then I asked, "Do you think we should buy these shoes?" in Spanish. Layla is just repeating shoes, being all happy. I'm basically having a conversation with myself in Spanish. I then say, come on Layla, let's go pay and then we could go get ice cream. Now, here's where our entitled grandmother comes in. She was in the same selection as us with her grandson, maybe 3 or 4 years old. But I wasn't paying any attention to her before this. She says, you shouldn't be speaking to her in Spanish. You should teach her English. She'll benefit from knowing English more. I'm not shocked. This isn't the first time someone has told me not to speak Spanish. I just took a deep breath and said, we're both Dominicans, which means our native language is Spanish. And yes, she was born here, so she is learning to speak both languages. Grandmother didn't like me talking back to her and continues to say, your daughter is going to start school soon, so she will need to know English more and you live here anyway. There's no need for her to speak Spanish right away. At this point, I knew this lady won't listen to reason, so I just gather my things and pick up Layla, ready to leave. Grandma continues to say, I just want the best for her. Like, I was pissed. First, how is Layla not knowing her family's language not good for her? I lost my cool and said, lady, please off. I don't care for your advice. She was shocked and I walked away before she could say anything else. Honestly though, why do people think it's right for them to tell other people how to raise their kids? And to clarify, the only reason I never corrected her when she was saying your daughter was because she looked like the type of person to get security on me and say that I kidnapped a child. I honestly don't understand her logic. Last time I checked, being bilingual was a good thing. Sorry for all the mistakes in format, but please let me know what you think. Our next post comes from Janenaya Ukunedi. Grandma takes my brother's Lego set and gives it to my 20-something-year-old uncle. This happened almost 2 decades ago. I was 4, so I don't remember, but I've been told the story often enough. The cast is Grandma, G, Uncle, U, Mom, M, and my brother, B. My brother was 6 when this happened and really loved Legos. Ever since he was old enough to play with them, he asked at almost every birthday or celebration for Legos. He then always dumped them in a huge box and built some pretty impressive stuff for a kid his age. Then, G announced that she had something to give him and gave him used almost 2-decade-old dirty and broken Legos. My mom cleaned them and sorted out the broken pieces and then gave them to my brother after having thanked G. Then one day G calls saying that you would like his Legos back, but small problem. My brother's and used Legos had already been mixed and there was not really a way to tell them apart. So G did the reasonable thing and took a 6-year-old's Lego box and gave it to my uncle. Everything. No matter if what used to belong to my uncle was only a small part of that box's content. To be fair, my brother was surprisingly mature about this and accepted that. He didn't throw a tantrum or cry. To think that you was less mature than a 6-year-old kid is kinda shocking. Our final post for the day comes from a very gay person. 2 entitled mothers start insulting me in another language. I live in Spain. Well, I've been living here for 4 years now. Originally, I'm from Belgium. French is my first language and Spanish is my second language. The other day I was in a shop buying a gift for a friend since it was his birthday. I was waiting in the queue. It was pretty long and I had been for at least 15 minutes in the same spot when 2 women approached. They were quietly talking when I heard one of them say, I don't have time to wait. Let's see if we can go before/skip the girl, aka me, in French. And they were getting closer and closer to me until they were literally touching my back. It's a store that isn't filled up, so I'm guessing that they want me to feel uncomfortable and go for them to take the place. I've been waiting a long ass time and I'm not moving anywhere, so I start moving, making weird moves to get some space. And when they start scratching my back, I start punching them lightly. Not literally punching them, but annoying them. Then they start talking about how Spanish people are selfish and entitled. How could we not give them the place because they are tourists and giving us money? I take my phone out and I call my dad. He speaks French too, and when he answers, I start speaking in French and telling him that if he needed something for dinner, I could get it. I move around a little to make myself some space and get the EP out. I see their faces, gold between shock and embarrassment. Finally, I get to buy the stuff. I'm gonna get out of the shop. I look at them and I say, au revoir. Well, alright my dashing dudes, that is going to do it for today's episode of r/EntitledParents. I hope you liked the stories. If you did, I'll link them down in the description as always. If you liked the video, go ahead and feel free to drop a sub, a like, and a comment down below with what you'd like me to read next. A huge thank you to everyone who subscribed in the past few weeks. It's honestly humbling. But with that being said, I will see you in the next video.